What's going on, everyone? Servant R.D. Ramat. Kohaya, Kingdom of Heaven is at hand. Here with another video, this one entitled Precious. A few weeks ago, I did a video entitled The People of Darkness are wiser than the people of light. And that is so true, because the scriptures declared that the people of darkness are more cunning. But it's time for the people of light, especially the men. It's time for us to raise our level of perception. It seemed like we allowed them just to continue to pull the wool over our eyes, because us, once again, to be duped. They have all kinds of props and all kinds of rewards and perks that they have in store to give us, to keep us uninformed or misinformed. But it's time, brothers, it's time, y'all, to understand what's going on, because the people of darkness, they know what's going on. They know who we are. They know the promise that was given, the prophecies that were made, and it's just time for us to understand. As I look in the situation that's going on with this Kanye, this Kyrie, and now Dave Chappelle, they going after him, all this anti-Semitism talk. And with Kyrie, they silenced him and they gave stipulations that Kyrie would have to do in order to be restored. They just want to demean, but not only that, they want to silence, and they want to do it before the world, to show the world that they in control, because they truly believe they have the right to tell us what to do, because they think that they own us. But on the other hand, they know they don't own us. They know who we belong to. And so what they try in all their efforts, even if it costs them millions of dollars, just like with Kanye West, they severed themselves from the contract with him, but at the same time they still want to use his formula for the shoes that were designed. In the process, they lost money. The same with Kyrie, they losing money, the powers that be. But it's like they sacrificing the money for a more important goal in mind, because they shrewd, man. Matthew 4:9 is jumping off the page. You know how the devil, the deceiver, how Satan came to Yeshua. Let me read it. Matthew 4:9. Let me start at the 8th verse. And the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. All this would I give you, he said, if you will fall down and worship me. I'm reading from the Berean Standard Bible. Verse 10 says, away from me, Satan, Yeshua declared, for it is written, worship Yahweh, your power, and him only. Joshua gave us a formula, a roadmap to live by. Joshua was well taken care of. He didn't have the luxuries of the society that he was in, but he had everything that he needed. And that is going on today, man. They're giving the men all these various goods and precious lifestyle, and the women and the money and the party and all of that. But it comes with a price. You got to worship, because they want to keep us in a state of subjugation before the world. Now, I named this precious because of Isaiah, the 13th chapter and the 12th verse. Let me read it. Isaiah 13:12. King James says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold. even a man than the gold wedge of Ophir. You know, that's some of the finest gold out there, the pure, a beautiful stone. The Father said He's gonna make His man more precious than the most beautiful stone in the world. And it's obvious what man He's talking about. Look at the man that's always under some type of chastisement, under some type of punishment. Just look at the pattern, man. You go back in the 20s, you had black folks just stepping and fetching because they had no other choice. Reach all the way back to slavery, how they had to bow down on their knees and just beg. And a man would come in and rape his family. And some of them would even rape the man, just demean him. You look at all the things that happened that men had to do to just survive in this country and around the world. I was listening to Louis Jordan, and I was listening to the song Beans and Cornbread. And I was listening to how I'll be ready. Like, oh my goodness. A song that he sang, Caledonia. You know, smiling, skinning, and grinning. The man had to do all of that just to be accepted. All you have to do is just look at the evidence. There's only one man in the corridors of time that's been an example of someone being told what to do and someone made into a little boy. It's simply because they are wiser. They know this scripture exists. They know what Isaiah 13 and 12 says. And they like Balaam. They can't box against the Most High, but they sure can entice us to go against the will of the Most High. Balaam was approached by Balak, and Balak asked Balaam to curse the Israelites because he saw them on their way. The Israelites were so fearful when they saw us in the distance, when they saw that Ark of the Covenant, and they saw the presence of the Most High resting on the nation, and the power of the Most High residing in the men. They feared. They don't fear us now. Look what they're doing now. They tell us what to do, when to do it, how to do it. Snoop, he came out tough when Gail was asking Lisa Leslie, asking her all those crazy questions. Snoop got in his feelings, got in his emotion, and kind of chastised the woman. Then all the female, they joined forces and came after Snoop. This has been the same pattern all through slavery. They esteem the woman over the men because they understand Isaiah 13 and 12. And it's obvious who that man is that the scripture is talking about. And so Susan Rice, I think that's her name, she came after Snoop and said, you better back off because we are coming after you, and I promise you it won't be pretty. Something to that effect. Called Snoop to come back and apologize. Bill Cosby, make it in this world, in this kingdom, and you see what they did to him. You look at what the NFL did to Colin Kaepernick. Even though there were multiple shooting of police shooting all these black men, they was even shooting the women. And Colin Kaepernick, he decided to take a knee in the NFL. The whole world, especially here in the United States, went crazy. People all at work were mad and upset. There's no doubt of who Isaiah is talking to. The list goes on and on, man. There's always something. Look how everyone got pissed off at O.J. Simpson. They've been getting away with killing and doing whatever they wanted to do with our women. Just remember, prior to 1963, we had no civil rights. We were born with no rights. In 1964, I think 1964 or 65. We had no civil rights. So they were able to do whatever they wanted to do. Think of all the young ladies that were raped and the men that couldn't do nothing. It's been the same pattern down the line. If you stand on your own square and stand up like a man, any black man that stand up like a man, any Hebrew man that stand up like a man, they're going to come after him. If he has any significance on the world stage, they're going to come after him and break him down. Why? Because he's precious. And it's time for us to understand, because we've fallen for the tricks of Balaam. Balaam, he told Balak, he said, look, man, I can't curse these people. The Most High is with them. I ain't got that kind of power, man. I'll be going against the Most High. But you trying to get me thrown under the gates of hell? But you trying to get me to fall in the fearful hand of the Almighty One? Man, you crazy, Balak. I can't do that. Well, let me tell you something. For a nominal fee, I can give you a formula. It's similar to what they did with the Willie Lynch. And they tried to use their magic and say the Willie Lynch letter was false. Okay, let's give them their notion that the Willie Lynch letter was false. Was all the things that happened to black people false that the letter claimed would happen? The things that were written in the letter, it actually happened. The genes that got the horses going from, each way. The famous jeans, I wear them, I still got some of them today. That was a type and figure of a man, of a black man, a Hebrew man being buck broken. And so that's what Balaam told Balak. He said, let me tell you something, man. I can't curse him, but when you give me some money, all you have to do is, all these fine women that you got around here, man, you got some of the finest women in the region. Bring them in the midst and let them mingle with these women. Let these women put it on them, man. And let them have children out there, with these women. And through that, they will turn from the most powerful being in the universe. Then you don't have to worry, because they would damage themselves. And that's exactly what happened. They mingled their women with the Israelite men, and sure enough, it happened. But Isaiah came later on down the line, years later, with Isaiah 13 and 12, when he said, I will make a man more precious than fine gold. So, we're precious, and your enemy knows you are. I remember my father telling me about a boy that stole an ear of corn, and the man called him an ear of corn. Now, the man called him and whipped him. My father said he whipped him from the time where he called him until the sun was going down. And Dad said that the young boy lost his voice and he couldn't even scream no more. The man was still whipping him. And this old big guy, Daddy said, big fella, like howling wolf. Something rose up in him, and he went to that Gentile man and said, don't you hit that boy damn another time. And guess what? The white man looked at Bap Dave, that was his name, and he ceased from whipping the guy. It was over. We don't know the power that resides in us. That's why they do whatever they can to cause you, to pressure you, to emasculate you. And they do everything to publicly flog or scold. And at every possible occasion, because they know if we begin to rise, if we allow ourselves to come to the realization of what's really going on, to codify with the Father in his process of making us out of fine gold, They know their demise would instantly happen. They would topple instantly overnight. They know it. So they can stand to lose a few dollars. They can stand to lose millions because their livelihood, their strength, their position on the world stage is at stake. I'm talking about the heathen. So they continue to be wise, to put out those who are of high value, that's, making a lot of money, put him out there and make him out of a public example, thinking that it's going to cause all of us to stay in line and not come to the realization of what Isaiah 13:12 says. But what the heathen don't realize, they're being deceived too. As it says in 2 Timothy 3:13, evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. They being deceived because the scriptures say, I will. It didn't say I probably will. It didn't even say there's a good chance that I may. It say I will. It's going to happen. It's happening right now. You say, I will make a man more precious than fine gold. Make. While they using their terminologies to keep us regulated, it's nothing but another tool that the Father is using to make his man. As they sick our women on us and have them emasculating us, have women raising boys and causing them to be more effeminate than ever. Somehow, some way, the Father is making his men. That word make, that's a powerful word. It cannot be overturned, cannot be changed. One of the most brilliant tactics that is being played out today is this chematology movement, where they want to discredit the word. They want everybody to go back to Kemet. And so you have a lot of chematologists, Egyptologists, they are in full throttle trying to do damage control. Because all in all, more and more people are researching of who we really are. So it seemed like an impossible task. Just watch the Most High work. I guarantee you his word going to come to pass. And no chematologists, they pooling together, man. I'm telling you, they coming together and they going to the drawing board and they really want to combat and side with the heathen in order to keep us from realizing what Isaiah 13:12 says. They already just discredit the Bible. There's one great teacher, and he's a chematologist, and he discredit the Bible, but every time he teach, he go to the Bible. Just another tactic, just another tactical move that is being launched against the Most High's men. Read Isaiah 13 for yourself, man. I just wanted to talk about that. Yeah, who will be next? Dave Chappelle, he went on Saturday Night Live and he talked about it, and he even said he stand, but they wise. He say, I stand with the Jewish community, but they didn't want that but. They want to silence us. They don't want us to say anything. But understand, whatever their demands are, they cannot stop what Yah has ordained. And what he ordained in Isaiah 13:12, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Ain't nothing you can do with that but just help the Father make it. So keep doing what you're doing, heathen. Keep trying to punish. Like, you losing millions of dollars in your process, and you don't have sense enough to know when your time is up. But I understand, if the precious man is made, and when the Father make you, the mob, they make men. But being made by the Most High, oh my goodness. I see why they fight so hard. I see why they throw everything at us, including the kitchen sink. Even our own women. but that will not stop. Isaiah 13:12. That's why I entitled this Precious. RD signing off. Peace, y'all.